Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Freeman, and I'm the interim city manager, as well as the chief of the Hackensack Fire Department. I'd like to welcome you to Main Street for a very exciting day as our city takes another step towards revitalizing our downtown. Before we get started, I would like to recognize some of the dignitaries who are in attendance. Please welcome Mayor LaBrosse, Deputy Mayor Canestrino, Deputy Mayor Sims, Councilwoman von Rudenberg, who could not be here today, and Councilman Battaglia. I'd like to thank Mayor LaBrosse and the City Council for the vision they have shown in revitalizing Hackensack. This is such an exciting time in our city, and today's announcement is another step in the right direction for the community. I also want to thank my predecessor, Ted Ehrenberg, who shepherded this massive project along throughout his entire tenure, as well as the engineers, architects, and other professionals who have made it possible. The City of Hackensack began this project to restore Main Street to two-way traffic in 2014, and it has been a long and difficult process, but with a great payoff for our city. The roadway was redesigned for two-way traffic with new pavement markings, traffic signal assemblies, and traffic signage. These newly paved streets are also improving the grading and drainage to create positive flow into our storm systems. In addition to what you see here on street level, with the new streetscape, new sidewalks, reconstructed ADA ramps, benches, trash receptacles, parking meters, decorative street lighting, and new trees, this project also involved significant utility and infrastructure work. Main Street now has a new sanitary sewer, a new main water main, and a new stormwater system that is sized to promote the continued efforts of the city to reduce the occurrence of combined sewer overflows and localized flooding within the city, as well as meeting the demands of redevelopment currently in progress here on Main Street. This project was funded in part by over $2.3 million in state grants that helped make it possible without overburdening the local taxpayers. That includes New Jersey Department of Transportation local aid and transit village grants and low-interest financing through the New Jersey Transportation Infrastructure Bank. Additionally, the sewer separation efforts have received $1 million of principal forgiveness grants through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, and the balance of those efforts are financed with a blended interest rate of less than 2% through the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Funding Program and the New Jersey Water Bank. At this time, I would like to call up former chairman of the Main Street Business Alliance, Jerry Lombardo.
Hello, everybody. It's really good to see that we're standing out here, some of us with our masks off, ready to get back in business. I'm almost shaking. I'm so excited about what's going on with the street. I know there's been a lot of pain in getting to where we are right now, but the Main Street Alliance has been working with the city of Hackensack for the past 15 years to turn around the fortunes of our iconic Main Street. I'm happy today to see the hard work of so many dedicated people coming to fruition. Professional planners and downtown experts have told us from the very beginning, that there's never been a successful downtown that was one way. So we knew 12 years ago that this street had to go back to being two-way. And as you know, the Main Street is not meant for high-speed travel. That's for River Street and other streets. This is our retail and our shopping corridor, and the two-way direction and the slower travel will benefit all that come to our downtown. Much thanks must go to our current mayor, our deputy mayor, and council that have had the fortitude to see this complicated process through. This project was not an easy project. Between the storm sewers being changed, we had combination sewers before this, where the storm water mixed with the rainwater, with the sewer water mixed with the rainwater, and it all had to be treated. So it's costing the city extra money to treat. Every time we had a rainstorm, we had to treat all that water. That's all been separated now. Unfortunately, the sewer line ran right down the middle of Main Street. So it took a big, not kicking the can down the road. They decided, let's get this job done, and I give them tremendous amount of credit. There was a lot of pain involved, including me. I have my own office on Main Street. So those of us that have stores and businesses on Main Street, I feel your pain. I walk the street every day, and people would grab me and say, when is it gonna be done? And we're finally here. And I always told them, it's a big project. Nobody wanted to do it, but we got it done, and the current mayor and council got it done, so I give them a lot of credit. Anyway, I'm going to step down, but I just want to say congratulations to the city of Hackensack, all of Main Street, all the merchants, and the entire city, because what's happening here is going to benefit the entire city of Hackensack. So thank you, and thank you for your patience, and let's go Hackensack.
Thank you, Jerry. Before I call up our next speaker, I just want to recognize another dignitary, Bergen County Executive Jim Tedesca, who's a great friend of Hackensack and a big supporter of this city. Thank you, Jim. Now, if I could call up the chairman of the Main Street Business Alliance, Brian Hakimian.
Good afternoon. What a glorious day. Thank you, Mayor LaBrosse and the City Council for allowing me to say a few words. Jackie Hashmat, if you are here, and you are, thank you for the weather because you guaranteed it. During a discussion this morning with the city historian, Mr. Albert Dibb, I learned that the Main Street was originally converted to one-way in the second half of 1975. What was very interesting was that in June of 1976, not 1 year after the conversion to one-way, the Chamber of Commerce requested that the street be restored to two ways. The following is verbatim taken from the minutes of the council meeting of June of 1976. William Messina, president of the Hackensack Chamber of Commerce, stated that the Chamber of Commerce had conducted a survey concerning the one-way traffic flow on Main and State Streets. He introduced Mr. Alfred Kiefer, representative of the Chamber, to report the findings of the survey. Alfred Kiefer said that a questionnaire had been circulated in the city of Hackensack in the Main Street area and gave a report of the results of the questionnaire, which indicated that on a ratio of 4.5 to 1, they opposed the one-way system. Mr. Kiefer also said the business economy of Central Hackensack is being affected negatively and asked the council to consider restoring one-way Main Street back to two-way in early July of 1976. Since it has not proven to be successful, the City Council in 1976 chose to stay the course and no action was taken. Some of you may ask, why is the conversion to two-way so important? Over the past 15 years, the Main Street Business Alliance, in its pursuit to revitalize the downtown, has been in contact with and has sought guidance from many nationally recognized urban planners who have all been unified in their opinion that a downtown that has a two-way Main Street will be more successful than a one-way configuration. The MSBA has lobbied for this conversion for years. There was surely some wisdom and insight in the results of that survey in 1976. Today, some 45 years later, the 1976 Chamber of Commerce's request to convert Main Street back to two-way has been granted. The Main Street Business Alliance, together with the City of Hackensack, have worked tirelessly over the last 15 years towards the revitalization of Hackensack's Main Street. Today marks a major step in achieving the ultimate goal of a thriving downtown. A downtown that will not only draw from greater Hackensack, but will be a draw for the county and a destination for those who live in other counties. What does this mean as the next steps towards the continued revitalization? As you can see, as you drive the Main Street corridor, residential development has really taken off. Hackensack's Main Street is developing a vastly different skyline. 3,500 homes have been built, are being built, or have been approved by the city. Now we have to focus on new retail, a focus that was difficult when the road was still one way, a focus that was difficult without the prospect of more people living in our downtown. What is the effect of 3,500 homes on the economy of the downtown? If each home, not each resident, but rather each home spends $300 a week on groceries, hair, nails, personal fitness, lunches, dinners, drinks, clothing, and other goods, it amounts to $54,600,000 of spending money that the businesses in the downtown will be benefiting from. That is an amazing amount of money. I want to stress that we at the Main Street Business Alliance have been focused on business retention in the district, as evidenced by our success in helping many businesses through the challenges that COVID has created. But now we must also focus on recruiting new businesses that will benefit by the changing market. We must help to recruit and facilitate these businesses to get open. As these businesses open and grow, it means more jobs in the city. The vision is that as this growth continues, the need for office, wellness, and other uses will gravitate to the downtown. A downtown that has the potential to be the envy of the remainder of Bergen County. At this time, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank the board of the MSBA for their hard work. It is a board that I am honored to serve with. Past Chair Jerry Lombardo, board members Edward Decker, Eric Anderson, Ben Rivero, Gary Benoon, Laura Kirsch, Glenn McAfee, Luis Ortiz, Jason Somm, and Jose Valencia. I would also like to recognize Patrice Forsman, our executive director. While today marks the achievement of a vitally important goal, our mission is not complete and much work lies ahead. The mayor and council has been lockstep with the Main Street Business Alliance in the pursuit of the revitalization of our downtown. We all recognize how important this is for Hackensack. On behalf of the Main Street Business Alliance and all of our supporters, thank you to the mayor and council for having the vision to dedicate the resources, capital, and commitment to seeing the two-way conversion to its completion. I'll wait for that. I'll say that again. On behalf of the Main Street Business Alliance and all of our supporters, thank you to the mayor and council for having the vision to dedicate the resources, capital, and commitment to seeing the two-way conversion to its completion, who, unlike the council in 1976, understood the need and took the action on making it a reality. A critical step in the transformation of Main Street, a project that has been very complicated to execute. The city, its consultants and contractors who worked on this project all deserve a tremendous round of applause, and I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to our mayor, John LaBrosse.
What a glorious afternoon, everyone. And thank you for being here today at this special event. I want to thank the City Council at this time for staying steadfast and keeping up the hard work that's been going on for 8 years to get this done. It's been an incredible journey. I'd also like to recognize our interim city manager, Tom Freeman, our executive to the city manager, Jacqueline Hashmat, our director of redevelopment, Albert Dibb, I know you're out here somewheres, our city clerk, Deborah Carlson, and deputy clerk, Allison Sabai, our planning board, which has done an incredible job of helping to make Main Street happen again. When the rehabilitation plan was put together, it took away a lot of the zoning, and it allowed for projects like you see here, right next to us, to go through planning in basically one night. After a very exhaustive application process, we were able to eliminate a lot of the, I would say, minutia that had to go forward in order to get a project done. We took that out of the picture and streamlined the system. So I thank the planning board for that. I really want to thank the business owners in Hackensack on Main Street, because it's them who have suffered between the pandemic and the work that was necessary to complete this project. They really took it on the chin, but they knew that this day was coming and that moving forward, Main Street will be growing tremendously again. So many of us are aware of what downtown Hackensack used to be like back in the day. It was the place to be. It had the best restaurants, the best clothing stores, two of the most beautiful movie theaters you could imagine, which held thousands of moviegoers. It was a pedestrian-friendly retail haven, and people came from all over to come here. Downtown Hackensack, on any given day, was always a busy place. But that all changed. We are all aware of how main streets across our region began to decline with the coming of the supermalls. It's hard for younger people to relate to this, as they can't even imagine a world without the Plaza or Bergentown Center or Riverside Square. But we know the real story of downtown and what it was like because many of us were here to see it. So in 1975, as was mentioned, Main Street had declined to a point where really was no longer a vibrant downtown. And a decision was made by the then council to change the traffic from two-way to a one-way street. To me, it was a white flag. They surrendered our once beautiful Main Street into a one-way street out of town. Sure, Main Street went on, and there was some limited success, but it was really just a 9-to-5 business community. It was really kind of a ghost town after 6 o'clock. So let's go back 8 years ago. We already knew through the studies that were done and also from the input from developers that Main Street needed to be a two-way street in order for the development to work. We got busy right away, and thanks to the Main Street Alliance, especially Jerry Lombardo and Brian Akamian, who have both been directors during our tenure, DMR, especially our planner Fran Reiner is here today, Archer Griner, especially Brian Nelson, our redevelopment attorney, Suburban Engineering. And we have Darren Phil here today from Suburban Engineering, who's done a wonderful job. This is a Herculean task to undertake. Our city employees, who put in tons of time into this project, our engineers, who are here with us today. I wish I could say it was just a labor of love, but I could tell you there was a lot more emotions involved than just love. There was some fighting, some cussing, some crying, some heartbreak and disappointment. But everybody involved stayed the course and thought of the goal. You would think just turning a street from one-way to two-way would be pretty easy, but it wasn't. Underneath where we stand, there are new water mains replacing mains that were here from 1906. Underneath our feet are new separated storm and sanitary sewers, all requirements for this to happen. New PSE&G underground work. All new digital signalization on Main Street and River Street to keep the flow of traffic moving. And much of this was accomplished during a pandemic and with a failing economy and a future that was uncertain for all of us. So to all those involved in this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I will not name all of you because that would just take too long, but you know who you are, and God bless you all, and thank you for believing in our dream. I must say, and I think I speak for most of the council, that this is one of our proudest moments. We have stayed the course, and we have reached our destination. We set this goal, and we have reached it. We are putting this beautiful old city, the city of Hackensack, back to where it should be, the shining star of Bergen County, a place where people from all over will want to come. It will be the new and improved Hackensack, offering a new beautiful vibe as it comes back to life. I'm so proud to have been able to be part of this journey. You know, this past Monday was the one-year anniversary of the loss of Deputy Mayor Canestrino's husband, Emil, to COVID-19. It's been a hard year for Kathy, but she's worked tirelessly on working on these projects, including the two-way. Emil was a lifelong resident of Hackensack and served our PT for 30-plus years. And I bring this up because the revival of Main Street was something he really cared about and it was special to him. And Kathy would tell me all the time that Emil would say to her, come on, let's go down Main Street and see what's going on. Because he was always happy to see the progress that was taking place. And he would be so pleased at what's happening here today. And I must also mention another dear friend who we lost recently, our city manager, Ted Ehrenberg. Ted was a driving force and the voice of reason on getting this two-way conversion done. He was faced with a multitude of issues and roadblocks, and he was able to maneuver his way through it. Also, we can be here today. I like to think that Emil and Ted are looking down on both of us with big grins on their faces right now. So today you see with us here two pretty nice rides. One is a 1962 Chevy Impala convertible, And I want to thank my friend Jerry Kalisa for bringing it down here today for this event. And the other is a late model Chevrolet Corvette belonging to our friend Pete Figlia. So what we have here is a meeting of the old and the new. One representing the glorious past of our city, and the other representing the glorious future of our city. And in a few minutes, at the commencement of today's ceremonies, these vehicles will pass each other, one going south, one going north, and for the first time in 46 years, Main Street will be a two-way street for its entire length. Thank you. Thanks again for coming out today and celebrating this very historic event for our city. God bless all of you. I want to thank all the moms out there and wish them a happy Mother's Day and have a wonderful weekend. So now, gentlemen, if you jump into your cars, I feel like I'm at the 8500. I would ask that the council come up, please. I would ask Jacqueline, Jim, Suburban, our clerks, Al Dib.
Stay behind you.
Help me out here, Chief. Who else?
You're in charge. They didn't tell me what about this part.
Brian, Jerry, Mary, Jim, please come up with us. We're going to cut the ribbon. Project managers. All right? Yeah. So let's all go behind the ribbon. All right, so gentlemen,
Put it right over it, please. But don't cut.
Don't cut yet.
Don't cut. Okay, go ahead and say what you want to say now.
so gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay, now look this way, please.
There we go.
Hold on, hold on. Okay, we're ready when you are.
So on the countdown from 10, all right? And on 1, I am going to cut the ribbon and officially open Main Street to two-way for its entire length. So is everybody ready? I want everybody to count down with us. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ready? That's good, Pete. I didn't know what part. Pick it up a little bit. Wait. By the way,
We've been up to downtown in Hackensack as long as I've been here. And I realize
Playing golfer is in China. It's good to see what's going on. They're right one
Can you picture me? I told Susan was on the ledge. She was ready to jump. And I'm like, all right, listen. Okay. I'm hugging everybody.
I'll hug you. I mean, I don't know you, but I'll hug you.
Deputy Mayor Kenneth Strino.
Pleasure to meet you. Dave Green, how are you?
I hear you. As soon as possible. Yes. And then God knows I'm happy. Celebrating or morning the next day. I'll go.
You need to get the
8 years ago, you remember what was going on downtown? You couldn't walk without because they knew who I was, right? Every had broken.
How you doing, Fred?
You gotta represent.
Well, in the beginning, yes. So I deserve. I know we got them all running. We got the building. So, what are you guys doing? The command vehicle? No, I understand, but I learned about this stuff that's down on the command. How are you, Bob? Good to see you, Albert.
Come back, Joe.
What a great event! Welcome to Hackensack.
Hold on 1 second. Nobody knows the ribbon. On Sunday, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Where's Susan? Yeah, that big escalator.
We're trying to get the dynamic duo.
Oh, God.